Hi guys, welcome back to Boomsy Sports. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to yet another interesting video. In this video, I'm going to be telling you guys what we did with the money we were sprayed on our wedding day. Did we invest it? Did we squander it? Did we just use it to lounge? If you want to know all the details, sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. So guys, welcome to Boomsy Sports. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for all the love that you guys have shown me thus far. I really do appreciate it. In this video, I'm going to be telling you guys what I did, or rather what we did with the money that we were sprayed on our wedding day. The thing about me is that I can plan your present, past, future. That's me for you. I believe in planning. Yes, I believe in planning. It has worked for me a whole lot of time, and I don't intend to stop it at all. And I see that it's a Nigerian mentality for a lot of people to plan with the money that they probably would get on their wedding day to probably offset bills during the wedding. Maybe they are owing a particular vendor, photographer or something, and then they want to use that money to probably offset their bills or something. Or maybe they probably just want to rent an apartment, or maybe they want to buy a car or something, and then that's what they use, you know. But I feel like, you know, you can't project, or you can't put your destiny, or you can't even put your life or your destiny and things that you want to do in the hands of people, because people can disappoint you, and people will disappoint you. And then you don't want to end up saying people are wicked. And no, they're not wicked, because probably you're expecting them to come through the way you had projected in your mind that they were going to come through, and they don't do that. You're expecting a particular person to give you even much more money, and then they don't do that. So what do you do at the end of the day? You've incurred a lot of debt here and there, you know. So that was not going to be me. That was not, in fact, my husband knew that was not going to be us. So these were part of the things that we were talking about, like when we were in relationship, because of course I knew that, you know, this guy wanted to be serious with me. So these are part of the things that I was telling him, that I don't live my life without planning my next step, without preparing for what's going to happen next, or what I intend to do next. You know, I always put these things as a project. You know, if I intend to do something in like a year or 2 years from now, I have to start planning it. I have to start saving towards it. I have to start, you know, preparing myself towards it. So we got married in 2018 November, but we're engaged in 2018 January. And then we gave ourselves ample amount of time. This was 9 months apart. So we gave ourselves ample amount of time to plan. Part of the things that we needed to do first was get an apartment, and then that's what we did. And then my husband was of the opinion that, you know, his decoration on his wedding day can never be finer than his house. In fact, I was like, yes, of course, we have to make ourselves as comfortable as possible, you know. So during the period of, you know, that 9 months, we went ahead, got an apartment for ourselves, touched it up, made it as comfortable as possible. In fact, we did not leave any room untouched. We made sure, like, you know, we put in beds and some other things to make ourselves comfortable in those rooms. We went ahead, we booked our, what they call a honeymoon ticket. We booked our honeymoon ticket like 6 months before our wedding. So we got it for really cheap, and then we did connecting flights. So we got it for really cheap, and then that's when we then transcended into full wedding planning. But before this, right, we had always talked about that the money that we were going to get on our wedding day, the money that people were going to spray us, the cash gifts that we're going to get, we're not going to touch any of it, because we're going to be putting it into, of course, when you marry now, it's expected that you're going to give birth and some other things. I know it's okay for you to leave things in the hands of God and expect that when that time comes, God will take control. Some people will say, as God has given you the child, God will be the one to take care of the child. you should have just left that child to be an angel in heaven. Or if you're not planning to take care of that child, or you're not planning about the welfare of that child, you should have just left that child to be an angel in heaven. So this was a project for us. We had said to ourselves that the money that we were going to get on our wedding day, it was going into childbirth project. We're going to get that money, and then we're going to lock it aside and forget about it and plan towards, you know, childbirth. And because it's somehow, I don't know, for me, I feel like it's somehow when your wife is giving birth, or you are giving birth, and then you're out there probably begging money or trying to borrow money to offset hospital bill. Come on, you had a whole 9 months to plan. You knew that your wife was pregnant. You know, I would not be, you come here and just say, there are some cases that people have planned but it did not turn out the way that they wanted it. But you just have to plan. Like, you just have to plan towards some certain things. Don't just take such big risks and expect that it will turn out the way you expect it. God will just come up, show up a miracle, and then that's it for you. So this was what we set ourselves that we're going to use our wedding money for. It was going to be childbirth projects. We're not going to touch it. We're not going to use it for any enjoyment. We're not going to use it for anything, because of course if we are getting married and we're going to be living in the same house together, we're not TVs to ourselves. You know, we're going to give birth. How are we going to finance those things? You know, we don't want last minute you start doing helter-skelter, running around trying to look for money to put together. There might be cases of even emergencies. You know, I probably would go into emergency cases where I would need CS, or I would need money for something, or you just might never know. So you don't want to be, it's enough that, you know, the labor process and everything, expecting a baby and all, rushing to the hospital is already a chaotic process, you know. Then coupled with the fact that they are giving you a certain amount of bill, and then you just cannot foot it, or you just cannot. So, and then you also have to talk about where, you know, probably you want to give birth in a private hospital, do you want to give birth in a government hospital, where do you want to give birth, you know. So these were the things that we talked about in relationships. So I knew to myself that, you know, the money we're going to get on our wedding day was not going to be any other, it was not going to be used for any other thing apart from childbirth projects. So after the wedding, and thank Jesus that, you know, after our wedding, we're debt free. We're not owing anybody, we're not owing any vendor, we're not even owing a pin. In fact, I'm a kind of person that if I'm even owing you 1,500 naira, I'm having sleepless nights. I don't owe at all. That's part of me. I don't owe. I don't go for things that I cannot afford, so I don't even bother. Even the things that I can afford, I make sure that I pay you, I offset it, I pay you. I try to plan as much as possible for bigger projects that I intend to do. You know, I try to plan as much as possible, you know, do a job, do different things, do different investments, so that when that time comes, you know, I have the money, or probably we have the money to do what we need to do. And then if God decides to bless us, you know, it's a plus, you know, it's a plus, it's excess, you know. So this was what we did after the wedding. You know, we collected the money, put it into the account. It was a childbirth project, put it into a joint account. It was a childbirth project. And then 6 months after, what they call it, getting married, my wedding and everything, I took in. And then that was what we, you know, had to go deep our hand into for the birth of our son. So it was not like we were now running helter-skelter at the last minute to say, okay, oh, this is what we wanted to do. And I feel like a lot of people just don't really plan towards the situation. It's not about I want a boy, I want a girl, I want 2 children, I want 4 children. How are you preparing for those children? How are you planning for those children? Gone are the days where you would say to yourself that it's God that gives and God will take care of them. You have seen how situations are. If you don't take care of that child, manna will not fall from heaven to take care of that child for you. You have to, you know, plan towards having a child. I feel like people don't even talk about the preparations for having children, you know, because back in the days, people just give birth to children and just hope that, you know, one uncle or auntie will come and take care of the child. And then if that uncle or auntie doesn't fulfill it, they turn to bad uncles and bad aunties. No, you have to plan. you have to prepare for that child. You have to be financially, let me come closer so I can say this, you have to be financially prepared for a child. You have to be financially prepared for a child, because you see this small one I just have in the house here. The way we buy milk, the way we buy Pampers. Anyways, we thank God for the supply. We thank God. But you see, for children, I feel like you need to plan. It's not about I want 2 boys, I want 2 girls. Are you capable of taking care of 2 boys and 2 girls? Are you capable of taking care of, you know, those children? So this was what we basically used our money to do. And all, it was a childbirth project. We didn't touch it, we didn't use it until, you know, that I got pregnant, and then the money needed to come out for what we needed to use it to do, and that was what we used it to do. I would like to add that, you know, my vision, the things that I wanted to do, I realized that while dating my husband, talking to him, getting to know him, you know, we're in sync. You know, there are some things that I want to do that doesn't sound absurd to him, doesn't sound like it's such a waste of money, why do you want to do it? Or it doesn't sound like, you know, why do you want to lock all the money for childbirth projects when there are other things that we can do at this particular moment? Let us do it than just carrying money to go and lock. I realized that, you know, they were in sync with his vision, and my vision were aligning. There were things that I wanted to do that he also wanted to do, so it was easy for me to just say, okay, this was what we're going to do, and then that's what we did. You know, some people might not, you know, accept for that. Some people will say, let's just do it, you know, let's just use the money to do what we need to do now and just enjoy ourselves. This was our long-term project, and we just knew that this was what we needed to use the money for. So if you're married and you're probably just watching this video, you can comment below like what you guys used your money to do. But this was what we used our money to do, what you guys use your money to do. It's okay for you guys to, please, I'm not coming here to just preach that you must invest the money. It's okay for you guys to flex the money, if that's the word I can use. It's okay for you guys to flex the money. It's okay for you guys to lavish the money however you want to do it. Some people are ballers. They don't need to save towards a particular project. Once they need the money for a project, the thing just, it appears. So it's okay for you to flex the money. It's okay for you to do whatever you need to do with the money. But this was what we used our own money to do. And do I regret it? No, I don't regret it. No, I don't regret it, because exactly how I projected childbirth, exactly what I wanted out of childbirth, that was what I got, and I'm grateful that the money was there and it came in handy. So that was it basically. I don't know, I hope you guys, I don't know, you guys learned 1 or 2. I know probably if you're intending to get married, please just cut your coat according to your size. Hey, cut your coat according to your size, oh. Because wedding, if you want to do a wedding with 1 million naira, you can do your wedding with 1 million. If you want to do your wedding with 5 million naira, you can do your wedding. If you want to do your wedding with 10 million naira, the amount you bring up for a wedding, that's the amount that is going to eat. So please, just, there's gonna be life after wedding. There are things that you probably would need to do after wedding. There are projects that you guys would want to do as a married couple after wedding. But please, you know, cut your coat according to your size. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys learned a thing or 2, and I can't wait to see you guys in the comment section. Please, if you are not subscribed to Boomsis Sports yet, I don't know what you're waiting for, because we have so many amazing content. Thank you guys so much for watching at Boomsis Sports. I'll see you guys in my next video, and please don't forget to subscribe. Bye.